live one?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Need to see the spikes in the audio.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. Ready to go?
I'm gonna let them send out the live link so they can.
Yeah,
family
absolutely.
and friends stream it.
And I'm gonna raise this up. There we go.
Just gonna do a live.
Fuck it, do it live.
Good luck.
Ready to go.
Yeah, give me a thumbs up whenever you guys are good. Hi, family.
There you go.
Like,
There's one person watching right now.
just on your phone.
And that's good. That's good.
Fill up our water.
I don't follow her.
I'm like right on the cutoff.
95.
How much delay?
There's a little bit delay. A little bit delay.
Not that much.
Yeah.
Is it?
Also doing the DVR. Yeah.
When a lot of people are talking and you're in an instructional environment, I always like to do if you can hear me, clap 2 times. Have you ever anyone do that to you?
That's a grade school. We do that.
Yeah, and it feels awesome. But then if you're not paying attention, you're like, why did everybody just clap? And you just kind of refocuses everybody.
It's not my voice. It's tough.
Yeah, I know. All right, how we doing? Okay. You, how you doing? Good? Do you need more time? This is your...
No, that's the word of the day.
Okay.
No. Time is now. Boone can't even look at his watch. Not working.
Okay. Axel, you ready? Yes. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The ceremony will begin shortly. At this time, I ask, please silence all electronic devices.
No.
I like that. We'll see what happens. We'll go with it.
Let's go.
Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. Starting a couple minutes late, but we needed family and friends on the internets, bring them online. So hi, family and friends. I'm Captain Jason Kimball. I have had the pleasure of serving as one of the mentors for class 2214. And I'll be the MC for today's ceremony. I would like to take this time to welcome our distinguished visitors, squadron leadership, and the family members and friends of our graduating class. Director of Operations, 333rd Training Squadron, Major Lee Zanuski. We may have to get the shirt, ask him to leave if he gets a little too rowdy.
Yes, sir.
Filling in for our superintendent, 333rd Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Isaiah Ward. Some say he's just as handsome as Chief Bailey.
Who says that?
No,
I say that.
And again, a warm welcome to all of the family members and friends of our graduating class. We are here to celebrate the hard work, dedication, and sacrifice of these graduating students and their families. Cyber operators are needed more now than ever before. The United States is already at war in cyberspace. Our adversaries continue to operate below the level of armed conflict, undermining our democracy and threatening our way of life. As cyber operators, we have been charged to defend forward and maintain persistent engagement with the enemy. But what exactly does that mean? The Deputy National Security Advisor for Cyber, Ann Neuberger, characterized defending forward as not waiting for the incident to happen. It is tracking, understanding, and degrading the enemy's capabilities and their ability to operate. Lieutenant General Charlie Tuna Moore, Deputy Commander of U.S. Cyber Command, describes persistent engagement as being in constant contact with our adversaries and maintaining a proactive posture, not a reactive one. Graduates, make eye contact. There you are. I see you. This is your charge. It will be challenging. But it is not impossible. You should find encouragement and guidance from legendary strategists such as Sun Tzu, Thucydides, and Clausewitz, who have gifted us with timeless theories and precepts required for successful military operations today. Their historical commentaries about war, causes for conflict, nature and character of war, and guidance such as know thy enemy and know thyself. These have proven true throughout history. As each of you move into your new role as a cyberspace warfare operations officer, sounds pretty good, I like it, you are encouraged to continue studying the past in order to add context to modern challenges. This course is only the beginning of your career in cyber education and training journey. Today, each of you will become freshly minted warfighter communications officers, entrusted with defending our nation against ongoing adversary threats by employing capabilities to directly meet the objectives of the President, the Secretary of Defense, and combatant commanders around the world. Your work in the field will directly enable the United States to apply force in order to set conditions for favorable national outcomes. We have prepared you by setting a strong foundation. The rest is up to you. Before recognizing each of our graduates, I would like to introduce today's guest speaker. Major Lee Zanuski is the Director of Operations, 333rd Training Squadron, where he is responsible for transforming and inspiring over 1,000 Air Force and Joint Service trainees annually. Major Z, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I'd like you guys to think about a scene in your mind's eye. Think about planes flying overhead, dropping bombs on cities, tanks rolling through fields, encircling their adversary, an aggressor conquering their neighbor because they view their neighbor as an illegitimate country. I'm sure you guys are all thinking of Russia and Ukraine right now, and that's certainly the scenario that's happening today. But this day in history, in 1939, we're presented with another scenario: Germany invading Poland. And the truth is, the United States sat out of that fight for a long time. We were not prepared for war. We were the country with the smallest army, smallest military of any of the major powers at that time. our people were saying, hey, we're surrounded by 2 oceans. It's not going to affect us. We're still recovering economically from the Great Depression. It's not our time. It's not our fight. And a couple years later, it was our fight. We were dragged into it. We were attacked. And we had to be ready for that fight. And so, the first thing I want to do is say thank you to our graduates for being the people who, even though we're protected by 2 oceans, you know that that fight can still come to us. You are those who are going to help us prepare for a fight that hopefully never comes. You're also going to be those who engage our adversaries as they try to gain advantage in what is a warfighting domain, what is the warfighting domain for the United States in many ways against our peer competitors, cyberspace. You guys are making sure that we're ready, either by enabling operations, enabling communications to aircraft, enabling their command and control, enabling their targeting, or by making sure our networks are defensible against those adversaries as they seek to gain advantage and seek to do operations against us every single day. The scenario in 1939, just before the German invasion of Poland, is in many ways similar to what we're seeing today. In Europe, obviously, we've seen Russia invade Ukraine, trying to reclaim that territory they lost when the Soviet Union fell, because they see Ukraine as a lesser state. They see Ukraine as less legitimate. On the other side of the world, China views Taiwan as an illegitimate state, as one that's part of the wider China, where military force would be justified. Not just Taiwan, they view themselves as the dominant power, as a rightful, they view themselves as having the right to impose their will on their neighbors. We've seen this with conflicts in India. We've seen how they treat the South China Sea. And so we need to be ready for, if they keep pushing that, to respond. And also respond to their aggression in cyberspace. Something else happened on September 1st in 1939, something that's not as well known. George Marshall became the chief of staff of the Army. And he's one of those people that I was talking about who helped prepare the country for the war that we would be seeing in just a few short years. He took our country from having a very small military to having an enormous military. He prepared our industries for fighting that battle. He was the leader who chose the leaders. You don't hear much about him because he wasn't the one in Europe leading D-Day. He wasn't charging ahead with tanks, but he was the one who knew who would get the job done. He was the one that was selecting Eisenhower and Bradley and Patton. And so as he made these preparations, he came up with a list of attributes that an officer should have. He actually came up with a list in 1920, but he continued using this list throughout his time as a general. And so I wanted to share that list with you guys today, because it's something to think about as you continue to develop yourself as leaders. What are the attributes you need? Who do you need to be as a leader to keep moving forward and to face those challenges and to be ready? So the first one is good common sense. That is the essence of officership. You are going to be making decisions. You have to make sure you're making the right decisions. The next one, excuse me, my book is not cooperating, is having studied your profession. Now, you guys spent the last few months having studied how to do cyber operations, but that can't end there. You cannot let those skills atrophy. You need to see how they get applied in the new context. You need to continue to develop yourselves. Being physically strong, so as war fighter communicators, you guys will deploy. You will be operating in austere locations. And you could do that, you need to be ready to go then tomorrow, because there are going to be you are going to get tasked. You're going to be ready, you're going to be sitting at home, you're going to get that phone call, and it may be, hey, we need someone to go to a country you barely know about, tomorrow, and you need to be ready to do that. That means you need to be physically fit for that. Cheerful and optimistic. This may be the most difficult thing. I'm sure you guys have seen there are challenges that you will get that will make you want to scream, and it will make you want to be negative. It'll make you want to say it's impossible to do this. But if you as a leader it doesn't set the tone, if you guys don't set the tone of we can get through this challenge, we can do it, it can happen, everyone else will abandon it just as quickly as you will. People will see you and what you do, and they'll go on to that. So you need to be cheerful. You need to be optimistic, even when it's difficult. Even when inside you're saying, I don't know if we can do this. You can't. You have to push forward and know that you can do it. Display marked energy. Now what that means is you're not just happy about it, but you take on those challenges and you go after them. Extreme loyalty. Extreme loyalty. Now, Marshall was not a guy who would be loyal to an individual. He was not the kind of guy who was loyal to an ideal. He was loyal to a mission. To give an example, the president, he was talking to the president before he was chief of staff of the army. He was just a one-star general. He was in the room with the president. They were talking about preparations they were having for war, because at that time, Europe was looking like it was leading to war, but the war hadn't started yet. So it was 1938. He was sitting in a room, and President Roosevelt said, here's what I think. Here's the direction we need to go. Let's get everybody on the same page of this is the stuff we need to do to get ready. Here are the appropriations we need to make. Here's the money we need to spend. And everyone else in the room, at the end of the meeting, he called everybody and asked, hey, what do you think of this? And everyone's like, yes, Mr. President, that sounds good. Yes, Mr. President, that sounds good. Yes, Mr. President, that sounds good. You get to Marshall, and he says, no, Mr. President, I disagree. He was willing to speak truth to power because he had the loyalty to the higher mission. That's what you need as officers. Finally, excuse me, lost my space. Okay, finally being determined. So you need to take all that energy you get, you need to take that optimism, and you need to attack the problems. The determined means you focus your efforts on the big problems and you're determined to fix them no matter what. So I hope that some of those words of wisdom from one of our most important leaders inspire you to move forward and take on those challenges and continue to develop yourself and your characters. Finally, I want to end my words with saying thank you again for being those who are standing up and being ready to be prepared for whatever challenges the United States faces, for defending our Constitution and our country. I want to say thank you to your guests and your family, because I know you have sacrificed a lot to get them here. It means a lot to me to be able to do this, and to help you guys think about what kind of officers you want to be moving out of here as you graduate. So I really appreciate your time, and thank you again.
Thank you, Major Z. It's a heavy book. I'll audible it.
Yeah.
Now I would like to provide an explanation to the meaning of our cyber warfare operator badge. It's actually right here, so if you needed a visual representation. The lightning bolt signifies the cyberspace domain, while the globe signifies the projection of cyber power worldwide. Together, the globe and lightning bolt wings represent our common communications heritage. The bolted wings centered on the globe are taken from the Air Force SEAL and signify our striking power through air, space, and cyberspace. Finally, the orbits circling the globe signify the space-related elements of the cyberspace mission. Undergraduate Cyber Warfare Training Class 2214, prepare for the presentation of your cyber badges and certificates of graduation. That sounds pretty good. Look at you smiling. I'm so happy for you guys. As each student's name is called, will the student and the person or people presenting his or her badge, please come forward. We invite family and friends to come forward for pictures with their graduate after they receive their certificate. I think we're gonna badge it, pin it on, and then do the certificate. If you're okay with that, we'd like to change it up on everyone. Okay, our first graduate of class 2214, the second lieutenant Axel Arce Rivera, presenting his cyber warfare badge is his father, Master Sergeant Jose Aviles. Aviles? I practiced this.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't just answer.
40 times in the mirror this morning, still just a huge fail. Second Lieutenant Arce Rivera has been assigned to the 4th Communications Squadron, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, North Carolina. We clap for that. Guys, take another picture? You guys up here?
Can we get a second clap for that mass guard though?
Bring the whole family down.
Come on down.
See that mass guard? He wants it back. Come on.
Captain Bollinger, he's from the Comm Squadron. We got the best camera guy on the job right now, so thank you, Captain Bollinger. Appreciate you. Our next graduate is First Lieutenant Kenneth Battaglia. BTAS. Presenting his cyber warfare badge is his classmate, Second Lieutenant Zachary Taylor, or Tay. First Lieutenant Natalia is currently assigned to the 106th Rescue Wing, West Hampton Beach, New York. So proud of you. I forgot to do the Natalia.
Yeah, you get a photo.
Run away, Zach. Run away.
Our next graduate, Second Lieutenant Kyle Buffalo. Presenting his cyber warfare badge is his father, retired Sergeant Bobby Buffalo. Second Lieutenant Buffalo has been assigned to the 56th Air Communications Squadron, Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam, Hawaii. Come on. Hey, let's get Mom in there too.
I'll let you in.
Thank you. Our next graduate is Second Lieutenant Samuel Conarella. Presenting his cyber warfare badge is his grandmother, Linda Conarella. Second Lieutenant Conarella has been assigned to the 53rd Computer Systems Squadron, Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. You gotta push pretty hard in there, I think. Come on down. Hey, this is our thing today, so if you got family or friends in the audience, you want to take a picture and you're unsure, just come on up here. I love it. next graduate is Second Lieutenant Jake Duda. Presenting his cyber warfare badge is yours truly. Second Lieutenant Duda is currently assigned to the 153rd Command and Control Squadron, F.E. Warren Air Force Base, Wyoming.
Better do one proud.
Get in here and get a picture. Friends don't shake. Friends got bigger than me.
No, that's bad.
20 push-ups. You can handle it. Our next graduate is Second Lieutenant Yoon Jun. Presenting her cyber warfare badge is her mother, Hyun Kim. Second Lieutenant Jun has been assigned to the 694th Intelligence Support Squadron, Osan Air Base, South Korea. Go Spartans. Coming along. We're going to be great. You mentioned that you guys practiced this morning. I like that.
That can't be said. No.
Next graduate is Second Lieutenant Lillian Layden. Presenting her cyber warfare badge is her father, retired Sergeant First Class Roy Samuel Layden Sr. Second Lieutenant Layden has been assigned to the 700th Air Support Squadron, Joint Base Langley, Eustis, Virginia.
Mom? Come on, Mom. Let's go, Mom. Come on, this side. This is his way of not saying out loud, I'm the first artist view.
Wow, okay, well.
This wasn't in script.
If you can, sir. I'm so proud of you. You're awesome. Can't wait for you to work under me.
That's what it looks like under there.
Hey, one, I don't want to hear it.
Just keep the mask on, please. Out of respect. Our next graduate, Second Lieutenant Bridget Anna Pena. Presenting her cyber warfare badge is her father, William Cruz. Second Lieutenant Pena is pending a joint assignment notification with her husband, who is currently, I think, a class. He's the next drop night on September 15th.
Yes.
So more to come. I was doing the pictures. I didn't want to get one. So.
Got that.
Our next graduate, Second Lieutenant Zachary Taylor. Presenting his cyber warfare badge will be me. Second Lieutenant Taylor is currently assigned to the Air Combat Command Special Programs Office Cyber Fielding Team, Joint Base, Langley, Eustis, Virginia.
Got to deal with me for 3 more years.
Uh-oh.
I think you forgot to throw a mouse guard.
You can tell by all this glitter on his chest.
Yeah.
He's a good kid.
Oh, that's totally crooked, but it's okay. That's good. Him and I started our Air Force journey together like back in 2005. So
Okay.
That's all.
we were roommates a long time.
And they were roommates.
I'm so proud of him.
Tear.
Proud dad.
He's my special boy. Yeah, last but certainly not least, Second Lieutenant Eric Witherspoon. Presenting his cyber warfare badge is his father, Mark Witherspoon. Second Lieutenant Witherspoon has been assigned to the 55th Cyber Squadron off at Air Force Base, Nebraska. He's going to be a mission defense team. Yes, coming up.
Perfect.
Okay, let's just give one big round of applause for all of our graduates. Okay, and now it's time for the presentation of the awards. The first is an award that recognizes the outstanding contributor, decided by an anonymous vote from all the class members. This award is sponsored by the Armed Forces Communications and Electronics Association, or AFCEA. The outstanding contributor for UCWT class 2214. You want to drum roll it? I just build up. Second Lieutenant Zachary Taylor. Next, we have our Distinguished Graduate Award. Based on multiple criteria, this award recognizes only the top 10% of students in a graduating class. Requirements for Distinguished Graduate include having a minimum academic grade point average of 95% and demonstrating attributes of the whole airman concept, including high standards of attitude, bearing, behavior, conduct, teamwork, and leadership, as well as no written or performance measurement failures. The Distinguished Graduate for UCWT Class 2214 is Second Lieutenant Zachary Taylor.
Who knew it'd be the prior master? Gee whiz.
Next, we have our Top Graduate Award. We will present awards on behalf of the Air Force Command, Control, Communications, and Computers Association, recognizing the UCWT graduate with the highest cumulative grade point average. A tradition began with UCWT's first graduating class on December 7th, 2010. In addition to the award itself, then called the Sadler Award, Brigadier General Ian Dickinson, the former 81st Training Wing Commander, presented his cyber warfare badge to the honoree. In turn, the student receiving the General's cyber warfare badge offered his or her first badge back to the schoolhouse to pass down to the next Sadler Award winner. The Sadler Award spirit remains, but is now called the William T. Lord Award, named in honor of the foremost advocate for the Air Force cyber community and founder of this undergraduate cyber warfare schoolhouse. The Lord Award will be presented to the Warfighter Communications Officer with the highest grade point average. The graduate receiving the award will relinquish his or her newly pinned cyber wings to the schoolhouse to continue the tradition. Captain Daniel McAdams, 333rd Training Squadron instructor and Senior Warfighter Communications Officer for the schoolhouse, will present the cyber wings to today's Lord Award recipient. The Lieutenant General Award recipient will receive a congratulatory certificate signed by the President of the Air Force Command Control Communications and Computers Association, Lieutenant General Retired Charlie Kroom. The Lieutenant General William T. Lord Award recipient for UCWT graduating class 2214 is, this is last time, Second Lieutenant Jake Duda. Changed an attire. No pressure. Just coincidence, complete coincidence, the award winners happen to be the people I've pinned on. Okay? No behind the scenes things going on, nothing fishy. Lastly, we have the coveted Top Instructor Award, better known as the Furious Fowl Award. The award recognizes the instructor who, more than any other instructor, transformed and inspired the student flight the most throughout their training. The award is decided by an anonymous vote of all flight members and cannot be awarded to the class mentor. Requirements for the Furious Fowl Award include, first and foremost, superior instructorship. The recipient must also demonstrate the Mad Duck standards of boldness, discipline, and a focus on quality, as demonstrated by Captain McAdams, over quantity. Make sure that badge is, I'm sure, perfect. The class had this to say about their choice. This instructor showed exemplary understanding of their course and made efforts to include us students during lectures and class. This instructor also showed high levels of humor and engaged in conversation in a way that made all of us interested and excited to speak up. The mentoring included during the course helped the younger newly commissioned officers understand how to value and communicate the skill sets of their enlisted, while also providing them with tips and tricks on how to remain successful during their next assignment and overall career. The hands-on aspect of the course was a team building experience that taught communication, teamwork, morale, and higher understanding. Sounds like a pretty good guy. The Furious Fowl Award recipient for UCWT graduating class 2214 is Captain Joseph Sluter. This is a highly sought after award by all the instructors. We get pretty aggressive behind the scenes on this thing.
There you go.
And now we're going to hand it over to
Thank you very much. Well, obviously, first I have to thank the graduating class because I wouldn't be up here if you guys didn't pick me. So thank you so much. I'm honored and humbled to be selected. There's a lot of different, awards and recognition you can get in the military. Some mean more than others, and so I want to make sure you guys knew that this is very, very special to me. So I really appreciate it, very grateful, and thank you. Second, to all the friends and family who came out here today and those with us virtually, thanks for being here on this special day. I want to reiterate all the nice words said earlier in the ceremony. You should be very proud of what these men and women accomplished here. We put them to the test and found them worthy to join our ranks. So thank you for coming out here today to be a part of that celebration. And then lastly, again, to the graduating class, just want to thank you on behalf of myself, my family, everyone gathered here for volunteering to preserve and protect the freedoms of this generation and the future generations. So I look forward to serving with you all in the not too distant future. Thank you again and congratulations.
And while Captain Schluter earned that award, it took the work of all of our instructors to give you guys a high quality experience over the last few months and produce the products that we have that we need to take to prepare for conflict in case that happens, right? So I just want to give a round of applause to the instructors of the schoolhouse and make sure they know how much we appreciate them. So please round of applause.
100%. They were a needy bunch. I was their mentor before having them, so I know firsthand. I heard the major speak about attributes of an officer, and I got thinking about what am I going to say? I didn't have anything in here. Jotted some things down. I know I'm going to say I'm going to be short and sweet because you guys are like, oh, here we go.
Safe word.
We had a safe word just in case I go too long, so I'm going to leave you with just three things. The first thing that I think, because I'm a prior enlisted guy and I don't speak well, not like this fancy book, right? I'm going to say the first thing, overall, have fun. Have fun. You'll be surprised. Your energy and your attitude is contagious. It really is. Here's another thing. I'm headed on my 8th assignment, 8th PCS in my career, throughout my career. I've never had a bad assignment, not a single one. I've never had a bad boss. You will make it, they say, grow where you're planted. You will make it, what it is. Your perspective is huge. Here's the thing that you can't control. Your perceived bad boss, the task that you get last second, that your boss wants tomorrow morning, right? You can look at that as why me, or you can look at that as a challenge, an opportunity to grow. So there was some stoic things passed around yesterday at the end of one of our last mentor sessions, but you can't control what happens to you. You can only control how you respond to those events, right? So have fun, put a smile on your face. You'll be surprised how many other people will smile when they see you in their organization. Number 2, I've said this a lot, run with scissors, right? Not literally. For some of you, for sure, don't run with scissors. What does that mean? Your lieutenants, you're going to work with, alongside some extremely talented airmen, NCOs, and senior NCOs. When they bring you a problem, it's because they want you to make a decision, right? Trust me, those NCOs, those senior NCOs, if they don't need the lieutenant to make a decision, they're executing that task without you. If they bring you a problem, be bold, be willing to not defer that decision up to your boss, right? If it's not illegal, moral, unethical, execute, and then have your people's back, right? I made that decision, sir or ma'am. It may not have been a good one at the time, but it was based on the amount of information that you had. So run through the halls with scissors. Do things that will make you uncomfortable as an officer, right? I would say on that, the last note on that, continue to keep it weird and dangerous, right? There should be continuous growth. And that leads me to my last thing, because you only need 3 things. First one, have fun. The second one, run with scissors. And then the last thing, suck less, right? Just suck less every single day. What do I mean by that? Again, no one's going to put my words in a book.
It's on video though.
It's on video.
It's recorded.
What was said earlier in this speech? You're graduating. I'm extremely proud of each and every one of you. But this is just the beginning. You're joining cyber warfare communicators, operators, cyber effects officers around the globe. Your training does not end here. If you're going to bring it to our enemies, right? If you're going to be slinging bits, ones and zeros of hate and aggression at our enemies, at Putin, then you need to be studying. You need to continuously improve your profession, your skills every single day. So suck less. That's all I have. And just finally, it has been a pleasure. 4.5, 5 months, it goes by just like that. April 14th, 2022, crazy guy comes in and just starts spitting all kinds of stuff at you. You're like, what did I get myself into? Extremely proud of each and every one of you. Okay. The last thing that I'll do before we close this out is give the opportunity to our class leader, Lieutenant Lillian Layden, to share some of her remarks, to address the class, address the family. Floor is yours.
Firstly, I'd like to thank all the friends and family for coming. I know you're excited for this. We're about to embarrass your wife. Mrs. Kimball, if you could come forward, please. They say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That is also the way to my heart.
Oh, thank you so much.
We want to thank you as a class for baking for us and keeping our morale high, and definitely outbeat my baking every single time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything you've done.
Obviously, whatever happened.
I'll be honest, I didn't prepare anything, and with good reason. I tried 3 times and I started crying every time, so this is coming from the heart. What a crazy few months it has been, and we did it together. We pulled every single one of us through, and not a single one of us failed, not a single one of us let the others fail. You guys have all taught me, try not to cry here. You guys, every single one of you in our class has taught me something different about how to be a lieutenant, how to be a woman, and how to be just a better person altogether. Every single day, I'd walk into class and be happy to see every single one of your faces and all of you welcoming me with a smile as well. I went through one of the darkest periods of my life during this course, and I wouldn't have made it through without you guys. Every day, I wake up and I'm thankful that I got to experience this experience with you guys. Sorry, trying to move together. Experience it with you guys, because we are the best cyber cowboys that have ever come through the schoolhouse, the first, the only, and hopefully the last.
Yeah.
We coined that. Captain Kimball, you've been an amazing mentor to us, and on behalf of our whole class, we are so thankful that you have just been here for us through this whole experience. Provide us with a safe word, because you do talk a lot. That's right, I do too. But we couldn't have made it without all of the staff here today. Every single one of the enlisted members and every single one of the officers and all of the civilians who have helped us get through the schoolhouse and put their heart and their soul into this course that helped us become the officers that we are today. We wouldn't be standing here without them, and of course, without our family and friends. So, Class 22-014, it's been a pleasure and an honor, and I loved being your class mentor. That's all I have. Class leader, sorry.
She's
My
slow.
class
Captain
leader.
Kimball.
Try not to cry.
We knew, we got you.
Okay, it's fine.
I'm okay with being called the enlisted.
Commander G, just if you have any closing or final remarks that you'd like to provide.
I just want to thank everyone once again for for being here and for what you guys have been putting the effort in, continuing to grow and be prepared for what the challenge that comes next, because our country needs it. And no matter how long you serve, you chose to put on the uniform, you chose to serve the country, you should be proud of that. So thank you again.
I'm going to double tap on the clapping, but congratulations to the award winners. Let's give one more round of applause to the class 22-14. So I gave them fair warning yesterday, and I like to get weird and keep it dangerous. So I am going to invite the class all up on stage as we conclude the ceremony to sing loud and proud the Air Force song in front of their family and friends. And if you don't see their lips moving and you're not feeling it, I want you to point them out. We'll do
Remember
solos.
energy.
So
right?
come on up.
Energy.
Come on up to the stage. Let's do it. One last time. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's graduation ceremony. The class of 22-14 would like to extend their thanks to those in virtual attendance today. The graduates will conclude today's ceremony by leading us in the singing of the Air Force song. Afterwards, they will form a receiving line, and attendees are encouraged to come forward and congratulate our newest cyber operators.
Off we go, wild blue yonder. traveling high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. And one, give it the gun, give it the gun, hey! Down we dive, spotting our planes from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in flame, we go down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for attending today's ceremony.
Last picture.
That's true.
Ladies.
We start studying
Camera. I'll go back. I'll go back.
I'll see you in the council party now.
Wait, yeah, Campbell. Come on.
Hey, everybody say hi to Keaton.
What about?
We'll hold you up.
We'll hold you up like horizontal.
Sooner. Come on. You gotta come take a picture with us.
No.
You guys are famous.
Form different poses.
You gotta balance out the power. We're too much power on one side.
Too fast, too furious.
Too much cowbell.
All right.
Can we look down one more time? Can we look down? Can we look down?
Okay.
Doesn't check.
Hey.
You eat your last ball, partners.
I like that.
Hold it together, but I'm barely on my thread.
I can't believe I tell you that.
Oh, you think this is nice.